Hey guys, welcome back to Sabers Forever. I'm John. Today, we're going to be going over a saber that I made 3.5 years ago for my buddy Mark Does the Things, and dubbed it the MT Saber. This was made to his exact specifications. I got to be a little creative with the overall design, and definitely the material. So, without further ado, why don't I just jump right in and I'll show you exactly what's going on. Alright, so this is the MT Saber, as I have dubbed it. The owner, MT, Mark Todd, not empty, MT, the initials. This is a custom saber that I made, surprise, surprise, for a good buddy of mine, and I did this 3.5 years ago. And it's only come back to me because it was originally baselit, because Mark, if you don't know, Mark Does the Things, is a flow artist. He does a lot of really amazing work with fire and sabers and swords and whips and all kinds of great stuff. You should really check out his channel. He's amazing, and you'll see plenty of footage with this saber. But he came to me with, specifications on a saber and an idea that he was hoping I would be able to do for him. And at the time, I had a job working for an air bearings company before I was installing sabers full-time, and had some access to some really sweet machinery. And I will put in the slides, or I will put up some photos showing the process of making this thing as I talk about it, because this is story time now, in case you were wondering. But yeah, I made this 3.5 years ago for Mark, and he came to me with this idea of, he needed something with more real estate on the handle for his tricks. So he wanted it to be relatively long, and he needed it to be counterbalanced in the pommel. So I got to thinking about materials that I wanted to use, and I know that he uses his sabers, like, for real. Not just for cosplay. So, and he uses them for stage performances and for his TikTok videos and literally everything. You'll see tons of footage of this saber online. And so I wanted to make this out of something really sturdy. So I didn't use the normal aluminum alloy of 6061, which is an aircraft grade aluminum. It's extremely lightweight, it's easy to machine, and it looks great after machining. But I used 7075, which is cut with tin. And tin is a very hard and stiff material. It is pretty unrelenting in terms of, it's almost like a steel, like it's very hard. You can hit it with a hammer and it's probably going to be okay. So this is 7075. And this is all one piece of aluminum, from the emitter and shroud all the way to here, one piece of aluminum. He didn't want anything that could come apart on him because he's had plenty of sabers fall apart. And, that's super upsetting, especially with the price of sabers these days, and even then. So I did exactly that. I machined it all out of one piece of aluminum, and then the pommel is made out of brass. And it's a big honking piece of brass. So let's get into the inside of this, and I will talk about the components. So inside the emitter is a stock NPXL V3. There's 2 tactile switches right here, which look like, Graflex pins. The pommel is huge. And then I was not 3D modeling chassis at the time, or printing chassis or anything, so I just used my favorite chassis that I could find that I thought would work, which this is a General LO Goth 3D Designs chassis, so the Leia Organa KR Sabers lightsaber that was put out in 2021, and I basically designed the interior of the saber off of this chassis. So your connector's up here inside, and this pommel just pushes against the chassis and keeps everything from moving. And the chassis has the stock rotary connector, a Proffi V3, 18650, high amp kill switch, and a 28mm speaker. So nothing crazy going on inside the saber, but really the whole thing about this is that it's ergonomic, it's counterbalanced, and it's not gonna take any bullshit from being dropped. So turn this on by flipping the kill switch to the right.
This weapon is your life.
And the boot up actually says exactly what the Arabesh here at the bottom says. It says, "This weapon is your life." So that was, you know, something Mark felt was important to put on here. I was happy to oblige. And now that the pommel is on, we have our power and our auxiliary. Let's put let's put a blade in here. This holds a 1-inch blade and uses a 1.5 millimeter Allen key. And it is now neopixel converted from baselit. All the fonts on this are by Kyberphonic. Mark has collected quite a massive collection of fonts from him.
Ray Skywalker.
You're still holding on! Let go!
Ahsoka Tano.
Anakin. Qui-Gon Jinn. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now, because this is counterbalanced with a 34 or 36-inch neopixel blade, you're looking basically at the balance point about right here. And if you are just using the hilt, the balance point is about right here, which is weird for a saber, because if you really notice how much, I'm not in the center of it at all. It's hard to find. There it is. Kinda. But yeah, this saber is solid. I mean, I can tell you from looking at the pommel, there was like dirt in here that kind of looked like it was turning to stone that I had to almost chisel out. So yeah, this thing has definitely been put through its paces, and I'm happy to report that it has survived. Now, the big thing about this saber is that after I finished it, I really fell in love with this thing. I think that it is one of the best sabers I've ever handled. I have a lot of like wrist issues from swinging sabers with one hand over the years, and this just feels very ergonomic and comfortable to hold. And I had decided when I finished it that I wanted to do a run of these. Not exactly. I would definitely change the emitter a little bit, maybe the upper section or something, but the general idea of this would be the same, with the same purposes in mind of its use. But if that's something that you'd be interested in seeing, you know, or wanting to add to your collection, let me know in the comments, because I would love to do a run of these, and I never think I expressed to the public my interest in doing a run. And by no means is this any kind of like, you know, high-end saber. It's just a really good, solid, sturdy saber that you're not going to have to worry about using or giving to anybody. Like they're going to be able to play with it. It's not going to break. I mean, it is an unbelievably sturdy saber. Now, that being said, I still have to finish designing it and putting everything together, but I would love to see this, you know, come to fruition, because I want one. And then basically the other thing is, if you know, once you're done using the saber, you're going to want to open up the pommel and you're going to want to flip the kill switch off when you're done using it, because there's no deep sleep with Proffi, unfortunately, yet. That is something that is being worked on, but I have a feeling we're not going to see it until probably the V4, unfortunately. So, yeah. Anyways, that basically does it for this saber. So I'm going to end it here, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright guys, that does it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to see plenty of other lightsaber videos on my channel. This one's definitely a unique one. And if it's something that you'd like in your personal collection, please leave a comment and let me know, because that will definitely light a spark under my butt to get this job going. If you are looking for any other sabers, I have a ready-to-ship section with some backlog in there. I've recently updated it, so definitely take a look at sabersforever.com. I also have a KR Sabers install service and a made-to-order section if you're looking for that pew-pew. Plenty of blasters in there. So you can find all of that at sabersforever.com. And if you can't find what you're looking for, or if you just have questions, please feel free to reach out to me at john@sabersforever.com, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Again, the website, you'll be able to find merch as well. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I can't do it without you, and I hope to see you guys stick around. So until the next time, guys, may the force be with you.